I purchased a faulty Xbox One S console off of eBay for £45. This equates to around $60. The listing on eBay states, console is being sold as faulty, it is not powering on, but any other faults are unknown. Console unit only. Let's get into it. The state of this console, it's not looking fantastic. However, if you are a regular viewer of the channel, you will know that a console looking a little bit dirty and dusty, which has like a few bumps and you can see it's been opened here, usually means that it's actually fixable. It's the ones that are really, really clean that are the least fixable, in my opinion. Before we get started, I just want to give a real quick shout out to Michael, who sent this amazing sign through to the PO box. Sorry, I got hiccups. It's absolutely incredible, and the fact that somebody's taken their time to do this for the channel and for me is absolutely insane. Thank you so much, Michael. I know it says Joey Does Tech, but if anything, that makes me love it even more. I'm sorry for the dirty gloves today. There's a little bit of a lip over where the disk drive is. I feel like this was disassembled and not put back properly. That's the vibe that I get at the moment. This has definitely been taken apart, but the warranty sticker doesn't look like it's actually been torn off. This has been handled by an absolute magician. Should we see if it turns on? Power has now been plugged in. Do we get anything on the Xbox symbol? No. Nothing at all. I'm actually hoping that this is going to be a simple chip replacement down on the 12-volt rail, which is down this side. However, I hoped for that last time and it didn't go too well. So let's investigate. This just came apart very, very easy. And I can hear rattling, which is never good. Oh, that was loud. Well, that's not good. It's just a little bit dusty. Let me clear some of this up now because it's disgusting. You can see this is how I know it's been opened before. This screw hasn't even been put back all the way. It just pops out like a weasel. Other than a little bit of dust, this actually doesn't look too bad. And would you look at that? It's a 1TB version as well on the top of the screen. Wicked. £45 for a 1TB would take it. Let's get all the guts out. I just wanted to quickly show you guys something because I know somebody's been in here. This is scratched where you take off the X clamp. I've already taken it off, but that wasn't me. I've done this many a time before, don't get me wrong. Before I had this trusty tool, this was getting done by me all the time. Initial looks just by taking this apart, you can clearly see on the right hand side here, we have some damage and dirt, whatever this is. Actually looks like dirt, mud alongside this corner, and also on the power rail. You can see we have so much dirt and gunk up here. And this is going to be the reason why this Xbox doesn't turn on, in my opinion. Rest of the board is actually looking pretty hickory-dickory. Is it hickory-dickory or is it hunky-dory? One of them. Theory on this is that something dropped through the top of the fan, liquid, mud, whatever it was. It's blown it over this and then it's just grown over time. I've got my multimeter out and I've got it set to continuity mode, which is the mode where it beeps when there's a continuous path. I'm kind of hoping selfishly that there is a short on the 12-volt line because I think I know how to fix it. Let's double check. Yes, okay, that's good. There was a short on the 12-volt rail. That is confirmed. That's really, really nice because it means that something definitely down here has gone wrong. Usually it's one of the MOSFETs. If I'm being honest, I think we've got a mini jungle on this side of the board. Let's go under the scope and take a look at it. First, we're gonna go with like a general inspection and just see what's going on. But this is at the start. So this is like probably middle of the board at the moment on the right. And that is looking awful. We've got some cleanup stuff to do here. If I'm being honest, the stuff around here doesn't look too bad. Maybe this cap here has had a little bit of an injury. What I'm happy about is that around this chip, we don't have any damage, which is nice. But if we go a little bit further down, you can see we've got some charred caps here. Well, I don't know if they're charred actually, or just marked. I think they're a little bit charred. And you've got a cap over here, which has definitely seen better days, as you can see. We've got a bit of wood, and it just probably gets a little bit worse and worse as we go further down the board. Look at this. Is that board? Oh no, there's a resistor under there. Poor little guy, man. I had to dig that out. And then we've got a cap here, which has seen, again, better days. Oh no, sorry, this is a resistor as well. Wow. If we go down a little bit further, again, we've got quite a bit of damage here. Don't know what that is. Looks like a jelly baby or a jelly bean or something. It seems to be like a little bit of a sticky substance. And then further down the board, that's okay. Like all of this area has been avoided, which is nice. Again, we've got the RAM down here. So it's actually quite nice that we've avoided most of this stuff in this area. Let's do a little bit of component hunting and see which component is causing the short on the 12-volt line. I think it is going to be a MOSFET. I've got the multimeter set in diode mode, which is where I put the red probe on ground, and I actually used a black probe to gather a reading from the MOSFETs. I'm going to be looking at the reading on the single trace that goes to the MOSFETs. So this one, for example, in this one, you can see the green lines, they go to a single trace. None of the other ones have a single line go into them. That's how I remember. The reading I'm looking for is 0.6 or 0.7, around that sort of area. Even 0.5 is okay. And for clarification, when I say 0, I mean 0. So 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. Let's have a look on the first MOSFET. What reading do we get? We get a short to ground on this MOSFET. So we get nothing. To be precise, we get 0.004. If I go to this one, for example, I get a reading of 0.6. I'm just going to check the other MOSFETs to make sure. 0.6, 0.6, 0.6, and 0.6. So we found the problem, and the problem is this little guy right here. I'm sorry, dude. Let's quickly blast the area with some IPA, isopropyl alcohol, and a toothbrush just to make it look a little bit more presentable before we change this component. How are we looking? We're looking a little bit better, but to be honest with you, still worse for wear. I feel like I need like a wire brush or something to get all of this gunk off. I don't want to use tweezers because I'll end up scratching through the board. I'll tell you what, maybe heating it up a little bit would be good. So I'm going to get the hot air gun. I'm just going to heat it up a little bit and then see if I can use my toothbrush again to get some of this off. Better than what it was before, but just still not that good. This is an area that I've kind of just scrubbed with a cotton bud tip, and you can see that it looks 10 times better than what it did previously, but I've still got loads of markings in between because it's really tough to get there with a cotton bud. If I manage to fix this Xbox with replacing that MOSFET, I think I'll be keeping this console even if it works. I don't feel comfortable selling this on eBay where it looks like there's another accident waiting to happen, if that makes sense. I can keep it for spares and repairs because it will be a working console, and that way I can take readings from a working board. I'm talking like I'm actually going to fix it. Let's see if we can replace that MOSFET, shall we, which is this one up here. Should we give it the gold Sharpay? Nice, very pretty. We're going to take this little guy from a donor board that I have. And we're also going to take this little guy off. Give it a quick clean with some IPA. Going to drop some flux down. This is the way we're going to be putting the chip on. We have a little circle on the board and a little circle on the chip, so it corresponds. Going to go with a temperature of 450 degrees Celsius and an airflow speed of 50%. Give it a little clean again. We're going to go back to the multimeter in diode mode and we're going to see what reading we get. Again, we're looking for 0.5. I've got a reading of 0.1. Let me just add some flux and redo this quick. I've now got 0.3, but it just doesn't seem enough. Maybe I need to put some more solder on. I've taken it off. Let's tin up the pads real quick. So we're going to put some flux and some solder. Let's see if that makes a difference. I'm trying to tidy this up, but I think I'm making it worse, is what it is. It's all on the same pad, so that part's fine. Doesn't look pretty, I just need it to have a little bit of a different reading. Meters in diode mode again. 0.53, okay, so it just wasn't soldered on properly. Wicked. Question is, do we now have a short on the 12 volt line? So I'm just gonna test on this pin up here. Do we have a short? Yes, we do, we still have a short, but this is reading okay now. I'm just gonna double check. Yeah, it's 0.55. Okay, very interesting, so we're not done yet. I decided to take the MOSFET off again, and I just wanna see and test if I've still got a short on the 12 volt rail, so I'm just gonna measure now. Yes, I do, so you can hear the beep. That means that there's still a short. Okay, there's still a short, even without this this MOSFET. This is, I think, bad news, but if I put IPA here, I was just doing some testing, I've got my power supply unit set at 3 volts and a total of 5 amps. When I put it on the 12 volt line, watch this. See that? Oh. There was a bit of red, so I'm going to stop that now. We had like a bit of fire indicator here. Don't know what the story is here. I don't know if the MOSFET was shorted itself and then that's caused like an internal short because the component has been left on for so long with the surrounded area kind of like really corroded, or whether there was an internal board short that affected the MOSFET, because I still managed to get a reading of 0.6 when the MOSFET's on the board. If I lower it down to 2 volts and I've just put some more IPA on, you ready? You can see, look, straight away that it comes from that area, literally right here, which is quite upsetting. It's all gone. Not a component, there's not a component near there. It almost seems to be about here, look. You see around this area? Really strange. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to use this board for spares. I could have measured this a lot earlier by taking off the MOSFET and then just seeing if the 12 volt line still had a short. Could have been resolved within about 5 minutes. But again, we learn, hopefully you guys have learned something today. And I think we're going to end this one here. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend. And I will see you in the next one. Peace. What a shame.